Well, we're here, y'all. It's time to start talking about this team tanking. And now, if you know me, if you've been watching this channel, man, I'm a big believer in not believing in the tank specifically, especially considering with how coaches coach, how players play. These guys are out here trying to win games every single Sunday. I don't think you can punt on games like you see teams in the NBA or even other teams across all major league sports. Overall, this team right now, even if they're trying to win, it looks like they're starting to tank themselves. The Giants sit with the 2-7 record currently, and you got to start looking at where this team is headed. Playoffs, very, very, very unlikely. We're already down, I think, 4 games in the division. I don't think we can come out of this hole, and I think everyone thinks that we can't come out of this hole, so I don't blame them. The Giants are naturally going to be in the conversation for a quarterback. Now, I believe we're all kind of ready to move on from Daniel Jones. I'd hope, even if you believe Daniel Jones is not the problem, even if you believe there's a lot more holes on this team, I think we can all agree that we should not keep Daniel Jones for another year and try to run it back with him next year. So with that looming large, we have to try to secure a top pick in this next NFL draft. Currently, with the way it stands, and there's still a lot of football left to be played, we're a little bit over the halfway point on the year. The Giants are sitting at the 7th pick. And now there's a lot of teams that are 2-7 alongside them. That's the big problem. There's a lot of teams that are bad right now. And will the Giants be the worst out of the few? That's going to be the biggest thing, especially considering who we're facing this next matchup. Now, going over it, I have it posted up as well. New England's number 1 with 2-7 record, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Carolina, Cleveland, Las Vegas, and then your New York Football Giants. Tennessee is a little bit ahead of the Giants in terms of draft order. They also are a team that's in need for a quarterback, but that's what you have to look for, y'all. Last year, the Giants were going to be able to have a top selection. They threw Tommy DeVito in. We won 3 straight games. And of course, in the moment, it felt great. But then you come to the NFL draft, you see all the top quarterbacks fall off the board, and the Giants wanted to trade up into those top picks to try to get one, and they were not able to. Because guess what? There was other teams that needed a quarterback as well. Currently at this juncture, New Orleans is a team that's going to select a quarterback. Carolina is going to be a team that selects a quarterback. Cleveland's going to be a team that selects a quarterback. Las Vegas is a team that's going to select a quarterback. That's 4 teams that are currently ahead of us right now with a lot of football left to be played, but they look just as bad as us. I mean, you have the Saints that just lost to the Panthers. You have the Panthers that are not a great team. They just benched their quarterback, Bryce Young. They started him back up. He's going to be playing against us this week. But they're a team that's probably going to move on from Bryce Young, especially considering that they already pulled the string and benched him. That's going to be a team that's probably going to be looking to draft the quarterback. Las Vegas, not a good team. They already unloaded Devontae Adams. They're prepared to lose games and try to get a quarterback. And then also Cleveland. Deshaun Watson's contract is one of the worst contracts in sports, along with Daniel Jones. And this guy is probably not going to come back. He's coming off of an Achilles injury. If Cleveland's going to be in position to draft one, they will definitely be taking a quarterback. So for this New York Giants team, with a lot of games left, with them trying to win games, they've already lost all the division games. We have to start looking at possibly losing these next games. Once again, I don't think tanking is as easy as everyone makes it seem, but currently at this time, the Giants have been trying to win games, and it's just not working out anyways. Whether you throw in Daniel Jones, whether you throw in Drew Lock, whether you throw in Tommy DeVito, right now we aren't winning games. I don't believe we're as bad as our record says, but it is what it is. You can't look past it. This team is not a good team. They're not going to be in the playoffs. We have to start looking towards the draft. It's unfortunate. And now this Sunday is going to be a game that's going to impact this draft order probably by a wide margin. Because when you look at it, the Giants already beat the Cleveland Browns. If they were to end up with the same record, the Giants beat them, so they wouldn't have a higher pick than the Cleveland Browns. The Panthers would be the same situation. They already if they beat the Panthers this upcoming Sunday, that tiebreaker is already gone. The Giants are going to own it. And once again, it sounds really weird to come out of my mouth, and it sounds really weird to talk about it because we talk about this team week in and week out. We want this team to win. But we have to start looking at, if the Giants are in no man's land with the quarterback, what are the options? What are the options that they can try to do? Will Bryce Young be a candidate to bring over here? I don't know how you guys feel about Bryce Young, but after having 2 bad years with Carolina, I don't know how confident you would be in getting him. Anthony Richardson, I don't buy none of that smoke. He's going to be with the Colts. Top quarterbacks off the board, you're looking at guys like Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. After that, it gets really interesting. I don't know if the value meets where our pick will lie. With Quinn Ewers, with Carson Beck, with Nuss Bus from LSU, You have a couple of different quarterbacks, but they're definitely not at the top end talent like a Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. So if the Giants don't finish with the top picks, man, it's going to be weird. Free agency is not an answer either. You don't have free agent quarterbacks coming off the books this year that are going to be like, let's throw the money at this guy. We don't have guys like that. The Ryan Tannehills of the world, other quarterbacks looming around like that. We're not looking for Jameis Winston. We're not looking at Jacoby Brissett. And those are going to be the type of quarterbacks that are going to be available. I don't know how confident you feel in that, but I also don't feel confident with Daniel Jones. The Giants right now are stuck in no man's land, and hopefully they're able to get a top pick. We'll see about that, man. They really need to get it done somehow, some way, and I hope they do. But if they don't, man, it's going to be an interesting offseason, especially considering, will it be Joe Schoen making these calls? Will it be Brian Daboll making these calls? That's a whole other argument. That's another thing when it comes to this. If you're tanking, I don't believe this coaching staff and even Joe Schoen is going to be able to make it through. I don't think so. If you're a fan of them and you see them lose the next 7 games, I don't see a way for them to come back. I really don't. So a lot is at stake for this Giants season. A lot is at stake for this Giants future. And hey, man, we're going to be here to unpack it. Let me know how you feel about it down in the comments, man. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Hey, man, once again, sometimes we got to embrace where we're at, man. We have to. I want to win the division games. I want to just stick it to the Commanders, the Eagles, the Cowboys. But at the end of the day, you have to accept where we're at. And right now, one of the bottom teams in the league and tied for the worst record in the NFL. Got to accept it, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned. And once again, man, go Giants. Peace.